Hi, this is Bob Kay from the Dallas IMS show. We're here to talk about the JMP Ultimate Builder. I have with me Kevin today with his entry in the custom retro class. He's got a nice old 650 Triumph that he's just done up unbelievable. Rather than me telling you about it, I got Kevin here. So Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've created here, this masterpiece?
Happy to, thank you very much. So it's a 1965 Triumph. It's the serial numbers match on the motor and the frame. I found it in the back of a garage, literally in 5 pieces, 5 boxes.
I'm sure it didn't look like this.
Yeah, no. There was enough pieces that I could salvage to make a custom, but not enough to restore. So I've never done a custom with a Triumph motor or a Triumph base, so I decided to do that. Like I say, what had sold me on it was that the serial numbers on the motor and the frame match. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to look like a bobber. So I wanted something that was unique on the front end. So I found a 72 Sportster front end and mated that with the frame. We had to make new cups, a spacer for it, had to make a new dust cover for the bottom, but it actually went together fairly easily. And then from there, worked on the motor. I wanted the motor to show its personality. It's a 65. I wanted it to look like a 65. So I didn't want to take the motor apart and chrome it. I wanted to be able to see its life.
Yes.
And so if I couldn't polish out the blemishes by hand, they stayed. And so, I spent a lot of time polishing because I wanted it to look clean, but again, I wanted it to make sure that it showed its life. The exhaust pipes are custom. They're hand cut. I buy donuts, cut them into sections,
right.
TIG weld them, and then grind them down, and then they're ceramic coated. When I first put it together, the rear end is stretched, and the rear end's obviously not part of the Bonneville frame. And I had to add a tightener, a tensioner for the chain.
Right.
The chain was flying all over the place. And then the big hiccup on it was after I got it done and I started to ride it around a little, it only would turn right. It turns out the whole frame was tweaked. And so it had to go back to my frame guy, Trinity Fab, and we had to make a custom jig for it. And straighten the frame out. It's a great riding bike. I have a bunch of hardtails and I can feel every bump in the road. With this bike, I think because the frame's so old, it flexes. And so it rides almost like a Softail. It's a lot of fun to ride.
Yeah. It's really kind of cool. It's like back in the 60s, you either had a Bonneville or a Sportster.
Yeah.
That was the deal. Everybody had that. And what you got here is you got a little bit of both.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, which is really cool. And the idea of not show polishing the cases, I think, is perfect for this. In fact, you're probably ahead of your time now because these guys doing the bobbers and stuff, they're trying to maintain some of the character as well as adding the custom touches. So I think you really hit a home run here.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to build, and I've had a great time showing it.
So what do you think about being part of the JMP show here in Dallas?
This is the first time I've ever shown a bike, and the feedback's been great. The recognition's been phenomenal. It's been a real honor.
Well, I'll tell you, it's kind of hard to believe your first time in a show. This is just an excellent example. We have 4 more shows, JMP shows, coming up at the IMS series. You can go to motorcycleshows.com and check out for your tickets. You can save $4 online. We have Cleveland next. We have Minnesota, Washington, D.C., and we have our national championship in Chicago.
I hope to be there.
Well, you're going to win today, maybe. We'll see. All the winners get to go to Chicago and compete for $50,000 and cash and awards. I hope to see you there. It's a great job. I really appreciate you coming down.
Appreciate it.
All right.